back at it like we left something. What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Furious Styles, your hip-hop loving, video game playing, time-traveling homie from YouTube. And you know what? Your man's had it, okay? Yo, I'm a time-traveling, video game researcher, hip-hop hero. Why am I not getting more subscribers? Look, I like my beats funky. I'm spunky. I like my oatmeal lumpy, and that's probably why the algorithm is messed up. Well, that and that one time in that Burger King bathroom. Yeah. Either way, welcome to yet another episode of my Retro Report Card, the usually bi-weekly YouTube show for retro collectors by a retro collector, where I scientifically research if games that you haven't even heard of or may have forgotten about hold up to today's standards. So if you watched my last episode, you kind of saw me get stuck in 1990. No. I apologize about my outburst. It's still a fresh wound. I mean, I saw some horrors back in my day. Well, back then. I had to go through the whole Furby Christmas rush thing again, man. You know how hard that was? I mean, they were talking gibberish, and then they were just... Ugh. Well, if this is not your first time watching the show, then you already know I'm broke. I mean, damn, have you seen the price of flux capacitors these days? And then what's the last time you saw a phone booth? And on top of that, Skynet's profit margins suck this quarter. And Chernobyl energy drink gives me gas. And on top of that, so this episode is going to be a bit different. As I'm going to be honest with you, the game we're grading today, I've never actually seen. I've never played it, and I've never heard of it until I actually started seriously collecting a couple years back. And even then, it eluded me for a while. I either couldn't find a copy that I could actually trust, one of the fun parts of retro collecting. Yay! Yes, or they wanted an arm, a leg, and my firstborn child for it, which I couldn't give them because I don't have any kids. This my girlfriend hasn't told me something but I was attracted to the concept of the game. Seems kind of cool, and oddly enough, I was enticed by the box art. Now I know we hadn't done this in a long time, but ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's story time. So a little something about your man Furious. I was notorious. I'm sorry again. Listen, I'm going to therapy for it next week, and look, I had to go through Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo. I mean, have you seen that movie now? I mean, that movie has aged like Office Fish. And Anna and the King, look, if Chow Yun Fat is not kicking somebody in the face, I just can't do it. I can barely do it when Chow Yun Fat is kicking somebody in the face. And look, I love Robin Williams, but have you ever seen Bicentennial Man? You know how long that movie was? An entire bicentennial. I used to be infamous for picking really bad games, all because I liked the IP or I had some dope box art. I mean, I can't tell you how many crappy games I ended up with just because they had some cool box art. Dude, really? And then there was also games that I was excited for. I mean, straight up obsessed. Like living my life on the IGN message board for any new news, obsessed. Only for the game to be straight butt. You know, a simple Price is Right losing horn would suffice. So I'm just praying that old habits die hard. With a vengeance. And that this game doesn't straight blow. So we're headed back to, well, if this watch ain't tripping with no map, October of 1989. You did that? Nah, it's cool. We good. Yeah. So October 1989. All right. Weeks don't fail me now. Huh? You man out here looking like LL, but man, I'm out here looking like a pimped out. Okay, maybe not, but still, though, this is crazy. Look, for real, still fresh as death. Hey, straight up, even though I look like an OG, there's only like 7 rap albums out right now. I mean, how crazy is that? You, sucker? Came out like last year. You know what? Never mind, man. Yo, excuse me. Anyways, we're breaking out the. Come on, man. Did you do it, bro? You out here messing up my show. Your show? What do you think I'm trying to do? Messing up my show? This It Takes Two looking mother. Alright, hold up. Alright, listen. The watch has been going nuts, okay? Last episode, I got stuck in 1999. I mean, I barely made it back for this More evidence, I'm the real Furious. No, you're not. You're just a splinter. Oh, you gonna come on my show and then call me an old giant mutated rat? What? No. Teenage Mutant Ninja. Yeah, I get it. No, a time splinter. Okay, listen. How do we not mess up each other's episode of My Retro Report Card? My Retro what? Our show, My Retro Report Card. The show for collectors, by a collector. We rate old games. Retro. Oh, E40. Yeah, okay. Nah, that's real creative, bro. Yeah, we out here doing Child of the Retro. G-Dash. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's creative, bro. Yeah. Hey, yo, I'm not trying to mess up your show. Look, us Furies got to stick together. Yeah, like literally. But hey, let me get back to my 25 subscribers. Hey, dang, when did we hit 25? I mean, look, we hit like 25 a few weeks ago. Oh, that's cool, man. Look, I've been sitting on 24,998 for the longest. It's cool, man. Hey, listen, why don't we tag team this episode, huh? Me and you. What game are you doing this week? Today we looking at Xenophobe. See, that's dope. I'm doing the same game. Yeah. Developed by Bally Midway. Hey. No, that's the arcade version. What system are you actually doing it for? Bro, I only stream arcade. Wait, what? But how do you... You know what? Never mind. See, I'm doing the Atari 7800 version developed by Blue Sky Software. Listen, just make it easy on us. I'll bring you in when I need you for the arcade version. Oh, so I'm like Marty Jannetty and you might like Shawn Michaels. What? Pause. You want to be Jannetty? Okay, 4-time world champ, Hall of Famer, and 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Versus the guy who got his ass beat by a bunch of Marines, lost his smile, and retired. Any day, man. Jannetty never got beat. Wait, I'm sorry. Jannetty was world champion. Yeah, probably one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. And the thing, if he didn't dodge that super kick from Shawn Michaels and throw his ass through a window, yeah, that's cool. I'll just tag you in when I need you. Oh, okay. Yeah. No problem, bro. Party. Out. Well, that was, sorry about that, everybody. All right, getting back on track. While the 7800 was finally hitting their stride, I mean, they did just pass 1 million sales like a year ago. I, like the rest of the world, was playing on a Nintendo Entertainment System. And I was on, well, possibly the most nightmarish game on the system, and the reason I'm still having fear of open water to this day. That is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Game primarily responsible for why people hate water levels. I mean, damn, I ain't even play Echo the Dolphin. Why? Because it's all water levels. Maybe. Come on! Still can't beat it. Even more insane, that was my actual copy of TMNT I got from my parents in '89. Now I think about it, that was like the 4th game I ever had. Hey, not now, man. Come on. So let's get into how much I spent, and truthfully, I'm surprised at how much it was. I got a copy of Xenophobe from eBay, box and loose cartridge, in good condition for a total of $59.59. Okay, I'll take it. I felt like this one is one of the more expensive games I've bought for the system, but maybe it's for a reason. However, according to the great people at pricecharting.com, how did that turkey get 24K? Like, what the f***? This game is valued at a grand total of $66.58, meaning I made a profit of $6.99. Whew, I needed that. I was on a complete losing spree for like 3 episodes, but now I have $6.99 to fix this damn watch with. And if this is your first time watching my retro report card, I analyze these games using quality readings by integrating 5 key factors: graphics, sound, control, fun factor, and challenge on a tested 5-point grading scale. See, this is what I get for trying to sound more Star Trek-ish with only the J.J. Abrams movie to help me out. Guess I'm not one with the Force, huh? You know what? Audio sidelines get kissed by black ass. So like pretty much most classic games at the time, this game doesn't have much of a story, so I'm winging it. In Xenophobe, you take control of a group of engineers that resemble but are legally distinct from a number of space denizens that are part of a space organization that resembles but is legally distinct from the United Space Federation from Star Trek. and your stations, bases, colonies, and ships are infiltrated and infested by aliens known as Xenos that are green and resemble and are legally distinct from the xenomorphs of aliens. You must eradicate these slimy suckers before they evolve from pods, to critters, to roller babies,
Nobody puts baby in a corner,
to snotterpillars, and finally mothers. Not only do you have plenty of weapons including phasers, laser pistols, electric rifles, poofer guns, and grenades, but there's different ways to actually complete levels, including blasting all of the Xenos, retreating and allowing your base to be overrun, or when all else fails, blow the whole base up and dip. Pretty simple concept. I mean, what's a more retro theme for a video game than going head to head against an alien invasion? But is Xenophobe on Atari 7800 prepared for liftoff? Or is it bracing for a crash landing? Let's pop it in and find out. Actually, let's boot it up and get it in.
Yo, wait, what?
Oh, see, okay. I thought about a little arrangement, and then I thought to myself, why don't I go first and show them how the game is supposed to look on the arcade, and then you can go ahead and follow up and show them how it's supposed to look on the Tashi or whatever it's called.
Okay, it's Atari, and y'all don't have home game consoles?
Nah, but I play games to console myself at home. So, you know what? Why don't you go ahead, take a little breather, and go ahead and fix that watch of yours, and I'll show you how the splinters do it. What? So depending on what color you take, you're given the choice of 3 characters. In the Red Regiment, you have Mr. Embrace,
Whack.
who looks like E.T. with a human body. Colonel Poupon with the long, luxurious locks. I'm assuming this is your Flash Gordon of the crew. And then you finally have Dr. Quack, a walking, talking duck, not unlike Howard the Duck, whose terrible ass movie came out a year before this. Now in the yellow unit, you have Colonel F. Truth. I'm not even sure if there's a joke there, but hard miss. Anyways, he looks like a Spanish spot. Mr. Fogg, who bears more than a passing resemblance to the Coneheads of SNL fame, and Dr. Utterbay, who I couldn't figure out, but
Ooh, it's a lady.
Then you got the Blue Battalion, where you have Dr. Zorders, who is probably your generic Kirk character, Mr. Ease, who may be the one guy from the Katina scene in A New Hope that quit music, and Colonel Fushikins, who I'm not sure about, so we'll just say he's Commander Adama from Battlestar Galactica with one eye, or Colonel Hiram Graff from Ender's Game with one eye. Or spaced out Nick Fury. Look, I don't even know. Pretty sure I'm forgetting about somebody obvious. So if you got a guess on who this haggard geezer is, put your guesses in the comments. Anyways, the screen is split up horizontally for the 3 colors. Pretty innovative. And you get this cool joystick that looks sort of like the one from Gorf. And that's either really ahead of its time or one of the biggest whiffs in video game history. Truthfully, I can't tell you, but you can move it left or right. The trigger button that, attacks. And then you have a left and right button that does everything else from picking up items, to pressing buttons, to inserting disc, to throwing bombs, and crouching, standing up, and jumping. Why? Just why? Now looking at the year it came out, yeah, I get it. I mean, we're still in the middle of the wild, wild west of video games in the 1980s, so it gets a pass. But man, that was silly. I love how bright and colorful it is for such a gruesome concept. I mean, can you imagine if this game came out like 10 years later?
So tell your folks, buy me, Xenophobe, or go to hell!
There's also these items you could pick up for extra points. Ship pieces, dog tags, bomb codes. Wait, why is this written on paper? It's the future. All in all, the game is kind of a marvel. I mean, we're talking 1987 out here, and the gameplay isn't all that linear. The game is fun, though maybe it's a bit repetitive. But once again, 1987 arcade game. I mean, what you expect? And it does provide a challenge. And maybe I'm just selling it short, but the fact that the aliens can actually follow you from room to room, I mean, it's kind of cool. Even though Sutherland tends to be a bit on the challenging side. I sort of wish I had a second person around to see if the difficulty adjusts, but what you gonna do? Oh, shoot. Hey, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna monkey stomp your ass and make gorilla cookies. Wait. Well, good morning, sunshine. Yo, what the hell, man? Hey, relax, brother. I got my video done. And shoot, it's your show now. It's been my show. But you could see and hear me, right? I mean, yeah. But, okay, all right. Then just show them the difference between the two. Oh, wait, that's what I was attempting to. Ooh, you mother. So the 7800 version already splits the screen, which is kind of cool. I think besides Ball Blazer, which came out a year before, it's the only other split-screen multiplayer game on the system. But don't quote me on that. And yeah, it's a bit on the faded side, but truthfully, for 1989, it almost brings me back to feeling like I was playing this on my granddaddy's computer. So that was kind of cool. Looks like it starts out the same way as the arcade game, which once again, not bad. And then we get right on the ship. And well, despite being a bit lame that the only character you can play as looks like Mr. Embrace, whack, it still looks okay. I think I toned down my expectations just enough to realize an arcade perfect port of this game just probably wasn't gonna happen. But honestly, it does what it can and is still impressive graphically either way. I mean, most of the backgrounds stay intact to the best of their abilities and almost all the aliens show up, except the mother, which is perfectly fine because that thing sucked. The other difference I noticed was that I didn't see the tentacle of Xenos until like the third station, which makes it seem like there's a bit more of a progression system. And not only that, I was able to get the poofer gun in the same station. And I felt like I was actually achieving something more than just throwing everything at me at the same time and looking like that Mr. Krabs meme. And then, wait, did I just crouch with down and jump with up? It's low-key ridiculous how much that makes the controls 80 million times easier. The only real issue is having to tap up on the joystick to just stand up. Most of the time I ended up jumping, which is slightly irritating, but honestly, past the controls of that it's not my best work, I'm sorry. Was dealing with. This was a huge step up. It just felt normal. And sometimes normal when it comes to controls is usually the best practice. But hell, tell someone that in the 80s. Now let's look at the sound. Okay, maybe not. It's an Atari 7800 game. And if you know anything about the 7800, then you probably know where I'm going with this. While graphically, the 7800 was pretty on par with your NES and Master System games, the sound never evolved from the 2600. So it's the same old 3, 4, or 5 blips and bloops sequenced to sound like some kind of song, but it didn't sound like anything resembling any song in the arcade version. You know what? In a rare case, I'm gonna go ahead and issue a retraction. I might have misjudged this one. It ain't great, but they did try their best, and honestly, they did an admirable job. I mean, shoot, you could have just kept it to the sound effects, which, while not mind-blowing, is serviceable, which I could be more forgiving on. I mean, the zaps, the explosions, and even the splats are exactly what you'd expect, and once again, aren't bad. I don't know, maybe no music would have been better here, but honestly, the more I compare it and the more I realize, it was a better try than I originally thought. Overall, the game is an acceptable port. There's gonna be some things that got lost along the way given the technology at the time, but it's truthfully a port that doesn't lose enough to diminish the fun or quality of the game, which is definitely an anomaly at this time when it comes to transition of arcade to home console. Now, it's not the best I've ever seen. I mean, hell, it's not even the best on the system, like say, Miss Pac-Man or Joust. But it's serviceable, and it's mindless classic arcade fun, which is the most I can ask for. Now, the real question is how does it stack up, especially with the ability to look at where the original arcade version came from? But like all my episodes, I gotta end off with a bit of trivia about the game. You know, sometimes it's really hard to kick knowledge to you about a game so old. So, I'm gonna leave it to my partner, the other one. Wait, what? Oh no, see, this is the part of the show where I hit my theories with a bit of knowledge about the game. So hit him with a little something.
I don't have anything.
I mean, damn, you know how old this game is? I mean, damn, I thought you were gonna have something.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
no,
bro.
it's good. Cause I got something. Now, sit your ass down and learn yourself something. I got this. Alright, so Brian Collin and Jeff Nauman, two of the designers of Xenophobe, actually conceived this game as a tomb-robbing, treasure-hunting themed game. But when programmer Howard Scher came on the project, well, his love for sci-fi prompted the shift to a spoof on the movie Aliens.
Dang, that's kind of cool, man.
Oh, and that's also...
Seriously?
Hey, just drink it in, bro. Anyways, thank you, Furious Styles, for your help. Where can they reach you at?
Oh, man, they already know. Yo, check out my MySpace, my Vine, my Friendster.
No, yeah. Those don't exist in my universe anymore, man. Sorry, but, you know, Furious Styles, everybody. Furious Styles. Yeah, anyway. Whew. Yeah, I gotta close the splinter. I mean, that was, unsettling. You know, I wonder if Pharaoh was the one that became the star in Destiny's Child. Anyways, let's go ahead and hit Xenophobe on Atari 7800 with a little bit of that judgment. As always, let's start off with the graphics. And yeah, we lose the other characters and a lot of the colors that makes this game so special, but honestly, the more sterile look of it slightly helped it a bit. I mean, the colors and the brightness were definitely a draw, but at the same time, I appreciated the bare bones look. It looked a bit closer to the original Star Trek feel that they were going for. But I thought that was still fine. I mean, everything looked correct. I could tell the weapons apart, and despite the technical limitations of the 7800, this was pretty good. And compared to the NES and Atari Lynx versions, the graphics are probably the closest thing you're going to get to the arcade version. I was impressed enough to give the graphics a 4.0.
Yeah, boy!
Alright, now let's get to the sound. Now, I thought this wasn't probably going to get the highest marks, and honestly, I felt petty because of it. The sound effects are decent enough, but I only thought the music, which is only one song from what I heard, would drive the score down, but when I compare it to the arcade version, I immediately got it. Look, I know this is the 7800, and the sound is not the greatest on it, but I think it's remarkable that the sound sounds anywhere close to our arcade version as it does. Hey, call me surprised, but the sound for me is gonna get a 3.5.
Oh, yeah!
Now the controls. Literally the biggest issues I saw in the arcade version was fixed in the 7800 port. It was almost perfect for the 7800 controller. I still got the joystick, and with the two buttons on the side, one is my attack and the other does, well, everything else, throws bombs, press buttons, type on keyboards. It's dope. Not only that, being able to jump with up and crouch and pick up stuff with down, that's literally all this game needed. I mean, besides the having to tap up to get up from crouching, which ends up making you jump, these controls do the job. The controls are gonna get a 4.5 from me.
Hell yeah.
Now let's talk about the fun factor. It literally is mindless fun. It's fast paced, it's silly, but it makes you think quickly. Having different ways to complete the level is pretty awesome, especially for a game this early. Now, it does move pretty quick, so I can't really call it epic. And it just doesn't have any lasting power, but at the same time, it's just fun in that classic arcade way. I had a good time. It didn't take it too seriously, but I came back for more. It's fun, and honestly, that's all I really wanted. The mechanics aren't perfect, but it doesn't matter. I felt good dropping Xenos. I give the fun factor a 4.0.
Yeah, boy!
Finally, we look at challenge, which I guess is there. Of course, it's gonna get a bump up because, I mean, let's face it, games like this at this time weren't getting beat the first time around. Especially with no password system, no save, and no multiple lives, it just wasn't gonna happen. But I did feel like it was a bit easier than the arcade version for some reason. I mean, the level of progress was there and you felt it. The Xenos are not quite as tough in this version, and despite getting the majority of the aliens, it doesn't seem as daunting. And maybe this is because it was a bit easier to predict their attacks. Especially with the rollers, which were much easier to take out. Once again, it's mindless fun, so it shouldn't be that tough, and I feel like it's just right. Plus, it's extremely easy to pick up and play. I'll give it a cool grade of intermediate. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up yet another episode of my Retro Report Card, and despite my busted ass watch playing me like a remix, I'll admit, being able to see the two versions of Xenophobe definitely helped me to make a great decision. Or maybe it tainted my review. I don't know. Either way, Xenophobe on Atari 7800 earned a final grade of a B for me, which for a 7800 game is kind of an accomplishment. I mean, this game was released on a pretty weak console over 30 years ago, and somehow, some way, it still holds up. Well, listen, I gotta watch to tinker with. Think I'll do it to the smooth sounds of Big Daddy Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing. I mean, if I can't fix this BS watch to smooth operator, I ain't fixing it. Anyways, thank you to my special guest once again, Furious Styles. Man, f*** you. Famous last words. And if you know of any game that might need a look over for our collection, hit me up on them socials. Insta, TikTok, X, Discord when I figure out how to use it. At Furious Styles. One word, Z at the end. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. I mean, if this BS watch